Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Speaking of frauds.
This is brought to you by DraftKings. If you want to get into sports betting, you can click the link in the description right now. Bet $5, just $200 in free bets. Bam, there you go. Now you got $200 in free bets to bet on whatever you want. So if you've been hesitant to get into sports betting, this is probably the best opportunity for you to get $200 worth of free bets by just putting up $5. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Not valid in all states. Let's go! Check this out here. It is an Elliott Shore Parks tweet, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Johnathan Gannon's defensive schemes. From 2017 to 2020, the Eagles got double-digit pressures in 84% of the games. Double-digit pressures in 84% of the games. Since week 1 of the 2021 season, since Johnathan Gannon was hired, is what you should have said, ESP. Since week 1 of the 2021 season, they are getting double-digit pressures in just 31% of their games. Do you understand the disparity in that number? And it's not a talent issue at all. This is a defensive coordinator issue. Now, the Eagles secondary under Jim Schwartz was awful, right? The linebackers and the secondary wasn't good. And Jim Schwartz even came out after one game and said, this is what I have to work with. You know, I got Nate Gary out here. I can't cover people with Nate Gary. What do you want me to do? Jim Schwartz era, 84% double-digit pressures. Johnathan Gannon era so far, 31% double-digit pressures. That's just night and day difference. And I don't understand the guy's philosophy. I really don't. And he's going to have to change it up because you can't just go front four and expect to get to the quarterback and win the series or win the play. Because if you don't get to him, you got this cushioned zone defense back here hanging out. And it ain't going to work. So you guys are predicting an Eagles victory, okay? Are you predicting Johnathan Gannon changes something? Because if you're predicting an Eagles victory here, you got to be predicting that Johnathan Gannon changes something, right? Dank Burrito, Gannon isn't ready. Schwartz was a better coach. I wanted to look at Kirk Cousins' stats from last week. I know it's one game sample size, but Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins both are the perfect example, the prime example of a quarterback that you have to pressure him to beat him. These guys are statues in the pocket. So the strategy against Detroit should have been, let's bring the house on this bum and make him make mistakes. Kirk Cousins in week 1. I know Justin Jefferson had a crazy game. And Vikings over the Packers. Now, who knows what the Packers defense really is? You know what I mean? But Kirk Cousins was 23 of 32 for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns, 118.9 passer rating. Dalvin Cook had 90 yards rushing. Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. Averaged 20 yards per catch. And that brings me to Shane Huff on Twitter, because this is not going to work. This is not going to work, man. The Eagles gave Roman St. Brown and DJ Chark, Detroit Lions wide receivers, an average of 6.3 yards and 6.9 yards of cushion at the snap last week. The pass rush wasn't great, but it will never get home when the coverage is that passive. I don't want to harp on Johnathan Gannon the whole damn stream, but like, what's the strategy here? Well, I don't understand it. It's 100% reliant on the pass rush getting to the quarterback. If you're sitting back 6.3 yards and 6.9 yards off the line of scrimmage. You're literally hoping and praying that somebody breaks through the defensive line and makes the quarterback make a bad throw. On the other side of that, with a defensive scheme that is literally designed for the defensive line to almost have to get to the quarterback or they're going to complete a under 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12-yard throw, the guy had Jordan Davis on the field for 32% of the snaps. 32% of the snaps, Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is unblockable. Jordan Davis has never been blockable. He wasn't blockable in high school. He wasn't blockable in college. He's not blockable now. I don't care if he's 17 years old with zero experience. Put the big dude out there and tell him to go eat the quarterback for dinner. That's all you got to do. But again, these defensive coordinators, they all coaches in professional sports, they get to a position, they get such an ego, they think they are a genius, and they put way too much strategy into certain things. Well, we're going to start him out week 1 at 22. Let's call. Hold on. Where's my phone at? Let's call the analytics department real quick. Hey, analytics department. Yeah, what's the percentage we should be playing Jordan Davis week 1 to make sure he's fully conditioned by week 17? 22%. All right, we got you. Not a stitch more. Not 23? All right, we got you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's when the analytics start to take over the game. The Philadelphia Eagles under Doug Peterson had an entire department of analytics. They had dudes in office chairs looking at crunching numbers, having an input on game plans, having an input on who's on the field and who's not. That's never going to work. Then the rumor comes out that Howie Roseman has input on who's on the game plan and who's playing, who's calling plays, and what players are on the field and what. And we knew that for a while, but it was almost confirmed. Dom Mines, I'm not a big Jordan Davis fan. He's good at run stopping, but as far as getting sacks, that's not his thing. Well, he has a sack in the preseason. And you gave up 155 yards to DeAndre Swift, so I think you probably need a run stopper on the field. So in that regard, we should all be fans of Jordan Davis, and he should be on the field all the time. I mean, it's basic math. Put a guy out there that they have to double team. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.